What's up, guys? I know I haven't been updating any videos lately, but you know, I was just busy with working, and I got sick for about a week. I'm still sick, but I'm getting recovered. It's the flu season, and it's December. It's almost the holidays. So I mean, it's almost Christmas, and yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that, this time of the year is getting pretty like depressing and stressful for, for some people, and whether they want to admit it or not, you know. But, at the same time, people are just, pretty rude and disrespectful and full of anger and resentment. And it's just like it's best to isolate yourself than to be around people, especially around this time of the year, bro. I know it's not feeling good to like always be alone and shit, because I was always being alone. And I can honestly say this is my it's been a decade that I've spent every single holiday alone. And sometimes I don't regret it. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Maybe it's for the better, because the way I see people behave and act and, you know, treat others, it's just like makes me more to stay to myself. Because honestly, like, people these days, they just like, I mean, I get that, everybody has problems, everybody has demons that they're fighting. Everybody has some type of issue in their life that they try to figure out, or they cannot figure it out, or they have some type of mental issues, that they're going on. But I'm telling you, man, treating others with disrespect and terribly, it's not gonna help the situation. It's like it's creating more anger, it's creating more problems, it's creating more demonic world that we already living. But people don't realize that. People say like, "Oh, I just want to do whatever I want. I don't care, about others, and I can care less about everybody else. As long as I'm good, as long as I'm happy, as long as you know, whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm good." And that's the problem that I have with people, bro. Like, I was going out lately, because I didn't want to stay home. I mean, yeah, these past 4 days I haven't even gone to work and that shit, because I was sick. But you know, but then the past couple weeks I've been going out. I see like a crowd of people everywhere. And I could already see in their faces like these people are not happy, bro. Even though it's the holidays and shit, I still see in their faces that like they're fighting something inside. They have like some kind of like a war inside of them. And they're not smiling. They're not giggling. They're not being like, they're not like, they don't have like a kind face. And you think like this time of the year, like everybody's gonna be happy and all that, but I don't see it, man. At least where I live at, I don't see it. I see people like with straight faces, I see people who are like walking around like they're trying to get down with somebody, or they walking around and they try to see if somebody's like looking at them sideways so they can turn up the situation. And I don't understand where this hatred coming from, but I mean I get that, the inflation and this economy and everything is just jacked up, because I'm living in that, I'm living in that kind of economy, and I can feel it. But the problem is that I'm not walking around like I want to fight somebody. I'm angry. I'm not happy, but at the same time, I don't want to. I'm not looking for further problems, But people don't care, bro. People don't care. The way, like, people don't care if they go to jail for the simplest things, as long as they lash out on somebody, or as long as, like, they get angry with somebody, they don't care, man. They just want to prove something. They just want to prove that, oh, you know what? I'm a tough guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't mess with me, like, I'm the guy who, or even women too, bro. Like, I've seen, like, women too, like, walking around, they try to fight people. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Aren't you supposed to be feminine? Why are you walking around, want to be a man, To act like a man, like, walk and talk like a man, bro. And they want to get into a man's face and punch him and kick him and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, like, just sit your ass down. Like, that's the thing. That's the problem, man. Everybody's just on edge. Everybody's like walking around with the chip on their shoulder. The other day I was out, I just went to the mall. I see like a freaking crowd of people there, and yeah, some of them, they pretend to be happy. I seen like a lot of couples and shit. They're like walking around with their, holding each other's hands and kissing and all that. But deep down inside, they're not happy, bro. Deep down inside, I could sense that they're not happy. And they pretend that they're happy in front of others, man. That's another thing I hate about people. It's just like they're just pretending, bro. Like, why you pretend that you're happy? Like, I mean, I can't see your misery from your face, bro. Like, I can't see that you're not happy. I can see that you're you're ready to explode. Like, and it's funny, bro. People have no problem crashing out, on the smallest things, you know what I'm saying? Like, the other day I was walking and I saw this guy with his wife and shit, with his wife and his kid, and this guy was like a lot older than me, and like look at me sideways and trying to cause problems in front of his family, bro. Like, I'm like, dude, you're like 45, 46, and you're looking for a problem, man. Like, and you have a kid, you have a wife and a kid next to you, and you still like try to prove a point or something, bro. It's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. People are just, this is the reason why I just hate people. I don't like people. Like, I really don't want people around me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't like people. And it's not because I hate them because they're people, but I hate them because how they behave and act. They act like a freaking buffoon. They act like an idiot. They just want to prove you wrong. They just want to prove that they're tougher than you and you can't do nothing. They want to show that they're better than you. Even though they're not amount to shit, they want to make it seem like they're so hot shit. Everybody else is beneath them. And these time of the year is just like it's the best to stay to yourself, bro. I mean, I don't know why I went out, because I think maybe I was like depressed or something. I was staying home. I was depressed. But it's just like it's better to stay home, man. I know it's getting old. I know it's boring, but it's better to go out and see people's faces, Like it's just like you never know nowadays, bro. Nowadays you go out and you never know what's gonna happen. Nowadays you go out, probably get into a fight with somebody. Shit, probably catch a charge for some idiot, get into your face. Hell, I mean, worst case scenario, you're gonna get offed, You're gonna get logged out by some idiot with a bleaky, because you never know, man. These time of the year, bro, people are like angry, People are not happy, bro. Like, I've seen on news too, like, it's so devastating. It's so devastating that these stuff is happening, actually, especially around this time of the year. I've seen like people are so miserable that, you know, they just want to like off somebody because they don't have their lives. I'm like, dude, you don't know what those people are going through, man. Those people are not happy themselves. They're not happy themselves, man. They have anger issues, they have emotional issues, they have mental issues, they have financial issues, they have, I don't know, whatever, they have loneliness issues, even though they're with somebody, you can't be with somebody and still be alone, bro. And it's a fact. But yeah, man, it's pretty devastating, see these stuff, and it's pretty depressing, honestly, like, because you think like this word is the way that is designed for you to not be happy, it's designed for you to get teased and, you know feel less than, like, even though, especially for average people, because nowadays, if you're an average looking guy, you're just a ugly mother effer to females, and that's just how it is, bro. You can't do nothing about that. That's just how it is. A guy who's like a 6 or 7 now seen as like a 2 or 3, and yet a girl who's like a 3 or a 4 seen as like a 7 or 8. It's brutal, bro. It's brutal. It's just like how this word is going, man. It's just like so much anger and violence going on around here, man. You sometimes you go out, you never know like what's gonna happen. Sometimes you don't know if you're gonna end up in news or end up in hospital or end up in a police station or jail or somewhere that you don't even belong. And it's crazy, man. It's the most crazy part is nobody's talking about this. Like, everybody's going along with it. Everybody's just be like, yeah, life is great. Life is good. Life is perfect. Oh yeah, dating is perfect. My love life is perfect. My love life is so good. I'm this. I'm so happy. Man, why are you lying to yourself, bro? Why are you lying to yourself? Like, be real with yourself. Be real with yourself that you're not happy, and everybody else that you associate with, they're not happy either. Like, just admit it. But people are afraid of the judgment, because like if you show that you're not happy, with this word, everybody's like, oh yeah, like this guy's so bitter, this guy's so negative, this guy's so like they be down there and all that stuff. We shouldn't be around them. But I'm like, those same people that telling you that, they are the same people that have those stuff. They're the same people who are like negative. They're the same people who are judgmental. They're the same people who kill other people's moods. Yet they want to gaslight and shame somebody that they think doesn't fit in, bro. But I guess like that's the curse of being an average guy, bro. And when you're an average guy, you just get no breaks, bro. You just get no breaks. Walk past by a female and they give you dirty looks, or they have this look in their face like, why are you here? Like, you don't belong here. This world is belong to beautiful people. And what I'm saying? And I don't know. I feel like every year is getting worse. People are getting worse. This technology is getting worse. People don't want to communicate with each other. People don't want to talk to each other. People like don't want to interact with each other. Everything is pushed online. You gotta freaking. You have to talk online. You have to date online. You have to marry online. You have to give birth online. Like, I don't know, man. This AI shit is just too much, man. I don't know when people are gonna wake up to this shit, but it just like bugs me out that how delusional people are. It literally bugs me out, and yet people say like, "Oh, how come you don't have no friend? How come you don't have nobody? How come you're not married?" I'm like, do you really wanna like? Do you really want me to, talk to one of these idiots? Do I look like an idiot? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't want to talk to none of these zombies, bro. People act like zombies. Talk to them. They themselves don't have social skill, but yet they judging you for saying the wrong things. And yet you're the one who's getting blamed. Yet you're the one who is always wrong. But I don't know, man. It's just like it's a weird time that we're living, man. It's a very weird time that we're living. And I don't think this shit is getting better anytime soon, because every year things are getting more and more expensive. I mean, look at the job market. This job market is shit, bro. I've been looking for another job for like 3 months. I cannot find one, bro. Like I would try to change my job, but I know it ain't better, bro. I know these jobs are shit. I know people on these jobs are a bunch of like assholes and miserable ass people. And but sometimes I'm like, what else can I do, bro? Just the average guy living in this brutal world. Living in this cutthroat world, cutthroat economy, doesn't give a shit about like, this world doesn't give a shit about you, bro. You or me. This world only cares about like beautiful people, bro. This world only cares about like the riches, the top percenters for women, not an average guy. And that's just how it is, bro. But what else can we do, in this community, everybody says like, oh, just cope the best way you can. try to find a solution, try to find like, ways to keep yourself happy, and all that stuff. But sometimes I'm like, how? Like, what do you want to do? Like how, like, what other copes you want me to try? Like, I know video games and, what I'm saying, like video games and art and all that stuff is very popular in this community, but what if like you don't like video games no more? I'm in my mid 30s. I cannot like I can play video games, but I'm just like I'm not motivated to play video games. I don't like video games anymore. They don't excite me. I've been playing video games since I was 5. So I'm not like it's been almost 30 years I've been playing video games, bro. And I'm kind of tired of it. I want to try something new, but there's nothing new. And whatever is new, you got to do it by yourself. And that shit is boring, it's not fun. It's just like, this world wants to drain you from motivation and whatever dream that you have, and instead gives you misery, loneliness, and problems and low self-esteem, but yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video. And I don't know if I'm gonna be consistent about making videos, but honestly I try, but sometimes I'll be like nobody cares, man. My channel is dying and it's just, I don't know, nobody cares in general. But either way, man, you guys have a good one.